Hello everyone, welcome. In this video, I'll show you how to make character mods for Silent Hill F. We will fully replace Hinako character model. This step-by-step guide covers exporting game assets using FModel, editing the mesh file in Blender and replace them, and packaging the mod using Unreal Engine. As an example, I will use this costume outfit model. It's from Resident Evil 4 Remake, Ashley. I will replace this with Hinako default school uniform. So, if you're ready, let's get started.
Glad to be of service, ma'am.
First, we need FModel to access the game assets and export them. You can download it from the official FModel website. The link is in the video description. You will get a zip file. After you download it, go ahead and open the zip file. Inside, you'll see an X file, FModel X. Extract it into a new folder. Drag and drop it. Now open that folder and launch FModel. Give it a few seconds, and you'll get a setup menu like this. So let's configure it. In the directory section here, click on this. Then in this new window, locate your Silent Hill F installation directory. For me, it's here. Select the Silent Hill F folder like this. Then click Select Folder. Next, go to the Unreal Engine version section. And from the drop-down, select the Unreal Engine version this game is using, which is 5.4. Make sure you pick this one. Then click OK. Give it a few seconds and FModel will launch. Now, you'll see a message saying there is an update for FModel. Click Download Latest Release and confirm. Wait a few seconds for it to download. When it's done, FModel will restart. And after a short load, you'll see the game files listed on the left here. These are the files we'll be working with. If you used FModel before, you won't see the setup menu. You'll go straight to the main menu. If that happens, make sure still FModel is updated. Then go to top left, click Directory, and select Selector. That will bring up the setup menu and so you can configure it. Next, we need a mapping file. This allows FModel to properly load the game files. You can download it from Nexus. The link is in the video description. You'll get a zip file. After downloading, open the zip file, and inside you'll see a US map file, something like this. Extract it anywhere you like. Then copy that directory path. We'll need it in a moment. Back in FModel, go to Settings in the top bar. In the Settings menu, go to General. Then down to Advanced. Here, you'll see a local mapping file option. Enable it by checking the box. Then click here to browse. In the new window, locate that downloaded US map file. Select it and click Open. Done. Next, still in Settings, go to the Models section. Set the mesh format to PSKX. That's the one we need. Then, for the socket format, choose Don't Export Socket Bones. Simple as that. After setting these settings, click OK, and you're good to go. Now we can load the files. To load the files on the left side, go to the Load option and set it to All. Then click Load. This will load all the files at once. Now, you'll be directed to the Folders section. Here, you'll see several folders. The one we need is SHF. Expand it. Then, open the Content folder. Inside here, you'll find the game's assets, character models, animations, visual effects, audio, everything. The character models are inside the character folder, so I expand it. And you'll see more subfolders inside. Based on their names, you can tell which folder belongs to which character or category. Since I need Hinako, the player character, I check the player folder. And yes, that's where she is, inside the Hinako folder. There are even more subfolders inside. Each one belongs to a different part of her character. The 3D models are usually inside a folder called Mesh. Each Mesh folder is a version of her outfit, or parts like head and hair. The default model for Hinako is inside the Mesh 000 folder. If I expand it, I also get access to the materials and textures. Each folder is organized. So pay attention to the names. For example, the Mesh folder shows a number like 13. That means it contains 13 files inside it. Those are the files we need. To view the files inside a folder, make sure it's selected and highlighted. Then look at the top in the packaging section and click here. Then you will navigate to the Files section. These are the files listed in this section. Now you'll notice here are quite a few files. For example, the ones with PHAT in their names are physics assets. Leave those alone. The one with a clean name like this are usually the 3D model, the actual 3D model. To check, just double click it, then it opens a 3D viewer. And if it shows up as a 3D model, then it's a 3D model. If nothing shows up, then it's not a 3D model. That's how you can identify if it's the right file or not. In the same way, if you go into the textures folder, you can open the model's textures. These will appear in the right side of the FModel. The textures are what give your 3D model its color. You can also open the materials in the 3D viewer. We'll go into these later. We use materials to assign textures, and we have to also replace textures. We will do that, but later. So once you find the 3D model, it's time to export it. To export the file, select the file, and right-click, and choose Save Model. Wait for it to finish. FModel will export the 3D model along with any linked textures and materials. So give it a moment. When it's done, you'll see a notification at the bottom here. If you click it, then it will take you to the export directory, and this is the file. The file, it's in the FModel directory, where we installed FModel. If you go there, you will see an output folder. Everything is inside this, in the exports. And they are sharing the same path as in FModel, so if you just follow the path, you will reach the files. The 3D model and the textures, also materials. Now, we need Blender. Go to the official Blender website and download the latest release, or whichever version you prefer. The link is in the video description. After downloading, you'll get an installer. Just install it like any regular software. Easy. Once Blender is installed, we'll need a plugin, the PSK/PSA importer. You can get it from this page. Go to Get Add-on, click it, and click Download. The link is in the video description. You'll get a zip file. Now open Blender. You'll see the startup screen. Click General to start a new project. Next, let's install the add-on. Go to Edit menu at the top, then click Preferences. In the Preferences window, go to the Add-ons tab, and at the top right, click the little icon and choose Install from Disk. In the new window, locate the plugin zip file we just downloaded. Select it and click Install from Disk. Done. To confirm it worked, type PSK in the search bar. If the add-on shows up, and if it's checked, then you're good. Close the Preferences menu. Now, in this scene, select everything and press Delete to clean it. Then, switch to the Modeling workspace from the top menu here. And we are ready to import the models. Now, in Blender, go to the File menu at the top and choose Import. and look for PSK. This is the plugin we just installed. Select it. In the import menu, locate the file you want to import. This is the one for me. It's the same file I exported from FModel. Now, before importing, we must adjust a couple of settings on the right side. Under Transforms, set the scale to 0.01. Make sure it's exactly that, or it's gonna look a big model. Next, you can also change the bone length to 3. This is not necessary, but it makes things look better. Once that's done, select your file and click Import. Give it a few seconds, and your model will appear in Blender. There we go. Now let's talk about navigation in Blender. On the right side, you have the navigation tools: rotate, pan, and zoom. This is all you need. You can also use shortcuts like middle mouse button plus drag to rotate around the model. Shift plus middle mouse button plus drag to pan around. Scroll the mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Next, let's look at what we've imported. On the right side, you'll see the outliner panel. This shows everything inside your project. This entry is armature. It's the skeleton of the character. It controls the movement and animations. If you expand it, you'll see the actual 3D objects. We have one. This is it. You can hide or unhide the object or the armature or any object by clicking on this eye icon next to them. Hinako's default outfit actually has 3 different variants, but they are all packed into this single file. We can separate them, and here is how. Select the model, the object, and from the top left, switch from object mode to edit mode. This is how your model look now. Press A to select everything, then right-click, and go to Separate, and choose by material. This is split the out-of-it variants into separate objects by material. Switch back to object mode. Now you can select and delete the parts you don't want. Just click and select it, then press delete to delete. You don't need to do this when you replace the model, but I delete some of it and keep only one variant, so the model looks clean and it's easier to work with like this. From here, you can edit parts however you like. For example, select an object and go back into edit mode, then select any parts of it you want, like this, and press delete to only delete this selected part. And you can switch the viewport to wireframe from top right corner. When you do that, you can have a clear view when selecting. That way you can delete cleaner. Okay, let's say deleting is done. What else? Well, you can reshape. Still in the edit mode, select some parts, then use these move, rotate, and scale tools to reshape the model. You can do anything you want, and that will directly affect in the game. For more detailed edits, watch some Blender guides. I'm gonna cover the whole replacement process, but for editing the 3D model, it's best you watch some 3D modeling in Blender. Once you've got the parts you want, you might want to merge them back into a single object again to stay organized. This is how. In object mode, hold Ctrl and multi-select the pieces you want to join in the outliner. Then go to Object menu at the top here, then choose Join. Done. They are merged back together as a one-piece model. This is all you need to know for a start. Now we are ready to move on and replace the model. First thing we need is a new 3D model. This can be from another game, a custom 3D model you made, or you downloaded from a website. It just has to be a format that Blender can import. I got mine from here. Now here is what you need to check about your model. Your new model must have a skeleton, bones. These are what allows the model to move and animate. We'll need them to pose it and match the original. Next, your model also needs textures. Textures are image files that gives your model, the 3D model, its color and some other details. We need them too. After you confirm that, you need to do some quick edits to your new model. For example, my Hiniko model is split. The body is one file, and head and hair are in another. Since I am replacing the body, if my new model comes with head and hair, I'll just delete those parts and only keep the body. You can do this easily in Blender. No need to make it perfect, just clean it a bit, and this is enough. Once that's done, export your new model as an FBX file. We'll use this to import it on top of the original model. Now back in Blender, with the original model open and imported in Blender, go to File, Import, and choose the file format of your new model. In my case, FBX. Locate the file, select it, and import it with the default settings. Now you'll see the new model on top of the original one. Check the outliner. You'll notice a new entry. This is the skeleton, also known as armature or bones. If you expand it, you'll see the objects, the 3D object. For me, it shows an out-of-it part and a body part. You might have more or less. That doesn't matter. It's fine. Next, we need to match the position. Before we do that, the viewport looks a bit messy, so let's clean it up. You can hide the armature of the original model, or any part that's in the way, to get a clear view. Also, try switching the viewport mode. If your new model already has textures assigned to it, if you change it to material preview, which is this one, then you can see the textures on the model, and this makes it easier to tell them apart. We start by matching the position. Select the skeleton of your new model. Now, on the left side, use the Move tool to place it in the right spot. Match it with the original one. Then, switch to the Scale tool, this one, and adjust the size. If it's too tall, make it shorter. If it's too short, make it taller. Super simple. Hold Shift while scaling or moving for more precise adjustments. You can also rotate if needed. Just try to match the position, scale, and angle with the original model. That's all you need to do. This is what I've got. Cool. Next is the pose. The pose doesn't match, so let's fix that too. Select the skeleton of the new model again. Then from the top left, switch to the pose mode. Here, we can adjust the pose. Each bone controls a specific part of the body. So, we'll select and adjust them one by one to match the pose. Now, sometimes the bones aren't all visible, which makes it harder to select them. To fix that, go to the Properties panel on the right side here, then go under Object Data Properties. Find the Viewport Display section. There, you'll see an option called In Front. If you enable that, you can see the bones that are even inside the body. So, you have a clear view of the bones. There is also a Display As option here, which changes how the bones look. You have few options. If it looks messy, I suggest using the stick mode or wire. Alright, let's adjust the pose now. I start with the shoulder areas. I select some bones from the shoulder here, and I use the transform tools on the left and adjust. If the new model's hand, the shoulders are short or long, I use the scale tool to fix that. And I try my best to match it with the original one. Not pixel perfect, but as close as possible. The more accurate, the better. If the angle is the problem, I use the rotate tool to fix that. You can also use the move tool to adjust the position. So, Try them out, see which one is what you need, and adjust them accordingly. Next, I move to the elbow, then the forearm, and finally the fingers. Fingers take the most time. Make sure they match exactly because they are so sensitive and the most important ones. It's not hard, it's just takes time. It's very simple. You select a bone and move it and repeat. Use a good camera angle and go bone by bone. Try to match them with the original. Alright, I am done with this hand. This is more than enough. Now, for the other hand, you can copy and paste the movement. Box select the edited bones, press Ctrl plus C, then box select the other hand's bones, and press Ctrl Shift plus V to paste the movement, and done. This only works if the bones are named left and right. If it doesn't work, just press Ctrl plus Z to undo your move and adjust them manually. It's really simple. Once the arms are done, move on to the legs. Legs are easier. Start with the thigh bone. Adjust their position, scale, and angle as needed, just like the arms. That's pretty much it for the pose adjustments. That's what we do. We match the pose. Finally, check a few other parts of the body and fix anything else if needed. Okay, next, since I am replacing the body, what about the head? Well, I could replace the head the same way, but for now I want to keep it simple. I keep the original head and swap only the body. That means I need to check if my new body matches the original head. Otherwise, they will clip in the game. And here is how we check. In FModel, locate and export the head model. For me, it's Hinako, and it's in this path. This is the file. I export it same as before. Then in Blender, I go to File, Import PSK, and select the file and import it into Blender with the same settings. Now that the head is in Blender, hide its armature. Hide the armature of your new model as well, and also hide the original body. This way we get a clear view of the new body and original head. As you can see, some parts are clipping and don't match. If we leave it like this, that's gonna look bad in the game, so let's fix it. It's simple. Select your new body model. For me, that's both the body and that of it. And switch to edit mode. The moment you do that, you see the pose adjustments are gone. To fix that, go to Armature modifier in the Properties panel and enable these two options in the Armature modifier. That will fix it. Do it for all objects to affect all. In edit mode, select the areas that overlap the head, like around the neck, and just move them slightly forward or up to fix the clipping. Right now the edit looks sharp, so enable proportional editing, this option at the top here, and now when you move parts, the change will be smoother. You'll see a circle, that's the influence area. Use your mouse scroll wheel to make it bigger or smaller. That way you can gently adjust the body to fit the head. In my case, my new model has an out of it over the body, which really helps cover the gap between the new body and the head. That means I don't need to match it pixel perfect. But if you're just using the body with no out of it, it's trickier. In that case, here is what I recommend. Keep your new body up to the neck and go over the original head model's skin, like this. Then match these as close as possible and add something like choker around the neck to hide the gap between the original body and the new one. That works very well. Once you're done, go back to object mode and select the head model and its armature and delete them. We don't need them anymore. And that's it. Alignment is done. Next, we'll move on to weight transfer. Then setting up materials and we're good to go. Alright, now we need to connect the new model to the original armature so it moves properly in game. First, let's clean up the new objects. Select them one by one. I start with the body. In the Properties panel, go to the triangle icon. You'll see two sections, vertex groups and shape keys. If you have any shape keys, click this little arrow and choose Apply All Shape Keys. If you don't have any, that's fine, move on. Now, go to the wrench icon, and if you have any modifiers here, you should have one, armature modifier. Apply it. Click on this and apply. If you have any other, also apply them. Then, back to the triangle icon. In the vertex group this time, click this arrow and choose Delete All Groups. Done. Make sure to do these in order. Do this for all your other new objects. But remember, this is only for the new models, not the original ones. Once that's done, select the new model's armature and press Ctrl+A and choose Apply All Transforms. Then press Delete key to delete the armature. We don't need it anymore. Select your new object. Go into Edit mode. Press A to select everything. Then press M and choose by distance. You'll see a little menu pop up. Set it to something like 0.00001 or even higher. It depends on your model. This works for me. Perfect. Do it for all your new objects. And that's it. Nice and clean. Now go back into object mode. There is one more step you can do to get better weight transfer, and that is selecting your new original model and match it with the new one in edit mode. If they are close to each other, then weight transfer will be smoother. Also, if they are overlapping with wrong parts of your model, you can fix that here. If not, well, you will get bad deformations after the weight transfer, which we will fix it in weight paint, but do this too. It's good. It's time for the weight paint. First, select the original model. Hold Ctrl and select your new model. I start with that of it. Now, from the top left here, switch to weight paint mode. It's this one. The new model will turn blue. That means it's correct. Okay, at the top menu, go to Weights, Transfer Weights. This opens a small menu in the bottom left. Change two settings here. Vertex Mapping. Set this to Nearest Face Interpolated. Source Layers. Set this to By Name. And that's all. The weights are transferred. Now go back to object mode and repeat this for your other new objects. First, select the original model, then the new one, and go to Weight Paint and transfer the weights. The settings will stay the same, so no need to change them. After all weights are transferred, we need to connect the new models to the original armature. So select the new objects one at a time. Go to the Modifiers tab, add a new modifier by clicking on this option, then go to Deform and choose Armature. Now we have one. Next, in the Object field, click and select the original armature, which is this one. The armature of the original model must be selected here. Done. Do this for all your new models, one at a time. What we do here is connect the new models, the objects, to the original model's armature, and so they move with the original armature. Simple as that. Okay, I am done. After you're done, let's test it. Select the armature, go to Pose mode, and move some bones. If your new model moves with it, perfect, you've done it right. But don't stop here. Hide the original model, then pause the new one and check carefully. Move the arms, legs, skirt, whatever you have. Look for problems like weird bending, stretching, or stiffness, whatever. Whatever looks weird. If you find issues, here is how to fix them. Keep the pose where the problem happens. Keep it like this. Then switch back to object mode. Now, select the problematic object. For me, it's this one. Then go into weight paint mode again. Then, in the properties panel, go to the triangle icon, and under vertex, you'll see a list of all bones. Scroll through them one by one like this. When you click a group, when you select one, the part of the model it controls will light up in colors like this. That's the part this bone is controlling. So after you find the one that controlling the area you're having problem with, this is what to do. If a bone is controlling an area it shouldn't, and that's causing the problem for you, select this brush and set your brush weight to 0 and paint over that part. This removes the influence completely, so the bone no longer moves it, and this will fix the problem. And remember, sometimes a part is controlled by 2 or more bones together, like shoulders or hips. In those cases, check all the vertex groups and fix them all. And one other useful tool here is this one. This smooths out the sharp edges in the weights, which really helps fix unnatural bending. I always use it. It takes time, but it's worth it. So make sure to do it. Go through all your new objects and polish the weights until everything bends naturally. This is not necessary, but it perfects your art, so it is kinda necessary. Once you're happy, go back to object mode. Select the armature and go in pose mode. Then press A to select all bones. Then go to pose, clear, all to reset everything. Make sure to do it. Then go back to object mode. Now we are ready for the next step, material setup. Alright, now it's time to set up the material so we can apply our costume textures. Both the original model and the new one already come with materials. What we need to do and want to do is replace the new materials with the original ones from the game. When you expand the original model in the outliner, you'll see a list of materials. We will use this and replace them with our new ones. For my new model, I only need 2, because I only have 2, one for the body and one for the out of it. So let's choose. I am going to use body top material for the body and the body bottom for the out of it. You can pick whichever you want to replace. I choose these ones. Now let's replace. But before that, I must warn you, if any other modeling game is also using the material you choose, after editing it, that model will also get affected. You must look and see which one is safer to use, then use that one. The ones I am gonna use are example. Don't use those. Instead, maybe use these. For example, this one is one of Hinako's friends. And in FModel in the 3D viewer, in the left side, you can see the materials it's using. Actually, they're not the same as Hinako's, but the textures in the right side, they are the same one. So don't use these materials. Select your new model's object. I start with the body. Then go to the Materials tab in the Properties panel. It's this one here. You'll see material it's currently using. I have one. You can have more than one, doesn't matter. So I select it and make sure it's highlighted. Then I click this little drop down next to it. Here you'll see all the materials available in this Blender project. From here, I choose the one I want to replace it, and that is body top. Done. I replace the material, very simple. Do it for your other materials too if you have any. Next, I do the same for the out of it. I select it, go to the Materials tab, replace its material, this time with the body bottom, and done. Now both parts are linked to the original game materials. That's all. And sometimes you might run out of the original materials to replace. If that happens, you need to merge them. Merge the materials and textures. And I've got a separate video showing exactly how to do that. So check it out. Alright, now let's get the model ready for export. First thing we need to do is clean up the scene. The original model is no longer needed, so I just select it and press delete to delete it. You can keep it if you want, or keep only certain parts, but for me I'm deleting everything except the original armature. The armature has to stay. So now I am left with the original armature plus my new model objects with the material setup. Next, we need to rename the armature. This part is super important. The name has to be exactly armature. Double-click its name in the outliner and type armature and make sure the spelling is exactly this. If you don't, the model won't move in the game and you will get stuck in a pose. Now we are ready to export. In order to export, go to File, Export, FBX. This is the format we must export as. Now, in the Export menu on the right side, let's change a couple of settings. Come under Geometry and set Smoothing to Face. Next, come under Armature and disable Add Leaf Bones and enable only Deform Bones. Everything else can stay as default. Finally, the file name. This is important, very. It has to match the exact name of the original model that we are replacing. For me, this is the file, the exported 3D model from FModel. I copy its name, only the name, not the format. Then back in Blender, I paste the name, into the name field, without touching the file extension. This is what you get. Now pick a folder where you want to save it, the file where you want to export it. Anywhere works. And after that, click Export FBX, and you're done. Your new model is exported and ready to bring into Unreal Engine. Alright, now it's time to move on into Unreal Engine. We'll be using this to cook our new model back into the game. First, we need to download Unreal Engine. To do that, grab the Epic Games launcher from the official website. I've left the link in the video description. Install it like any regular program. The setup is straightforward. Once it's done, Epic Games will update itself and then it will launch. Now you'll need to log in. If you don't already have an Epic account, go ahead and create one. It only takes few minutes and it's free. Once you're in, look over at the left side and click on Unreal Engine tab. Then, on this menu, go to the Library tab at the top. This is where you'll find and manage all your Unreal Engine projects. For Silent Hill F, we must install Unreal Engine version 5.4.4. So that's the one I download. So, to get that version, click the little plus sign here to add a new version slot. Then, open the drop-down and find version 5.4.4. It's this one. And select it. After that, hit install. The setup menu will pop up. Just leave the settings at default and confirm. the engine will start downloading and installing. It's around 30 gigabytes, so it might take a while, depending on your internet speed. Be patient. Once the download is finished, you'll see a launch button. Click that, and Unreal will take a few minutes to set itself up. Be patient here, it can take a while. Eventually, you'll see the project setup menu appear, this menu, and we are now ready to build our project and enter Unreal Engine. So, that Unreal is open, let's set up the project. First, here, select Game, and then choose the blank template. Next, on the right side, adjust the project setting like this. Set project type to blueprint, set platform to desktop, quality to maximum, and uncheck these two boxes. Now, at the bottom right corner, give your project a name. I call mine SHF. Cool. You can also change the project path if you want, but I just leave it at default. Once you're ready, click Create. Unreal will now build the project. This can take a few minutes, so just be patient. Once it's done, you'll officially be inside Unreal Engine. Welcome. Next, we need to tweak some important settings like project settings. So we first do that. Go to top bar and click Edit. Then open Project Settings. In this new window, on the left, go to Packaging section. Here, enable these two options. Use iOS Store and Generate Chunks. Also, disable anything that I have disabled in my setup. Make sure it looks exactly like mine. And that's it for the project setup. Okay, next, we got to set up the file path in Unreal. From now on, the only window we will use is the content browser. So I click it and maximize it, so I have a clear view and do not get distracted by other windows. Okay, cool. We need to create the same folder path here that we have in FModel for our file. They must match. So do this. Put FModel on one side of your screen and Unreal on the other side so you can see both. Now in FModel, go to the folder path that contains your model, the one you edited. This is for me. Now start from the content folder and not all the other folders. In Unreal, we already have the content folder. So recreate the rest of the folder path inside the content browser, starting after content. Here is how. Right-click in the content folder and choose New Folder. And name it Character. Why? Well, because that's the second folder in my path. Then open the Character folder and make a new folder inside it, just like before, and name it Player, because that's the next folder in the path. Then keep making folders like this until you reach the final one that will hold the 3D model. For me, that final folder is mesh_000. That's where I import the file. So I must make folders till I reach that mesh folder. And I did. And I can stop now. We will do the same for the skeleton, materials, textures, and other files later. But step by step. For now, just recreate the model folder, the 3D file we edited, and we are good to go. Alright, time to import the file. First, make sure you're inside the mesh folder in Unreal. Then go up here in the content browser and click Import. A new window will pop up. Now locate the FBX file we exported from Blender. Select it and hit Open. This will bring up the Import Settings menu. Just leave everything at default and click Import. Give it a few seconds and Unreal will bring up the files here. There we go. You'll see a mesh file, a skeleton, a physique asset, and materials, the ones you replaced in the Blender. Nice. Let's check the mesh first. This is it. Double-click it to open the 3D viewer and view the 3D model. If it looks the same as the one we had in Blender, then we are good. Okay, next. We must set up these files we imported. The mesh is in correct folder and named correctly too, but not the skeleton file. So let's set that up next. Go back into FModel and open the 3D model you edited. For me, it's Hinako, this one. Once it's loaded, close the 3D viewer. Then you will see an Info tab, this thing here. This shows all the important data we need for this model. So here, we press Ctrl+F to bring up a search bar. Then in the search bar, we type whatever we are looking for. I am looking for a skeleton, so I exactly type that. Then I hit enter. It will jump to the skeleton file information. This is it. This is what I need. Two things matters here. First, the object name. It's inside this quotation marks, exactly this part. Nothing more, nothing less. Copy it. Hold Ctrl and click on it to select. Then Ctrl+C to copy. Now, get back in Unreal. In the content browser, find your skeleton file. This is for me. Select its name, click on it, and rename it by pasting the copied name with Ctrl+V. Done. Now the name matches. Second, go back in FModel and check the object path this time. This purple line is the full folder path, and you need to recreate it inside Unreal Engine like we did for the mesh file. For me, I already have the path until Hinako folder, so I just keep making the folder until I reach the final folder for the skeleton, which is the mesh folder. And the name after the mesh at the end is the actual file name, not the folder. So don't forget that. When that's ready, get back in your 3D model folder and drag and drop your skeleton file into the correct folder, which is this, and choose move, not copy. That's it. If you don't set this up right, your model will stuck in A pose and it won't animate. Next, let's do the same for the materials. In Unreal, we already have the materials imported with the correct names. No need to rename them. Now do this. Copy the material name. Choose one and copy its name. Ctrl+C to copy. Then go back into FModel and paste the name of the material in the search bar and hit enter. That will take you right to the material, that specific material file. And now you can view the path for it. This is it, the purple line. For me, I already have the most of the path. After the mesh_000, the next folder is material. So I just need to create one extra folder and name it material. Easy. After I created that, I drag and drop the material into it and choose move. Simple. Repeat this for each material. Copy its name and paste it in the FModel, search for it, and get the path, get the info, and do the rest. Fortunately, both of them were in the same folder, so I just put both in the same path. And that's it. Your mesh, skeleton, and materials are now set up. Now, the last thing left is replacing the textures with our custom ones, because right now, it's still using the original ones. Alright, so this is how we do that. On my drive, I have texture files for my new model. These are mine. 2 for the outfit, 2 for the body. There are lots of different texture formats, but the necessary ones are base color, which is a main color texture like this, and the normal map, which is a purple texture color that adds surface detail to the model. So make sure you at least have these two types of textures for your new model. Now I am gonna import them into Unreal. I go to my mesh folder and just drag and drop my texture files inside it like this. Simple as that. And they are now imported. Next, I need to rename and place them in their corresponding path. So, back in FModel. Now, where are the textures? You need to find the ones connected to the materials you are using. Remember, we apply textures to materials. So in Unreal, take one of your materials, copy its name, then go back into FModel and paste it in the search bar inside the Info tab and hit Enter. This will take you to the material. This is mine. Now, click on the purple path line. This line, click on it. That will open the material in the 3D viewer. Just close it. What happens is, you get a new Info tab, but this time for the material itself. Scroll down just a bit, and you will see a section called Texture Parameter Values. This is the section you can find the textures that is connected or used by this material. These are the ones. Each of these is a texture slot. What we are looking for are the base color and normal map. For example, here is the base color. You can tell by its name, the texture parameter name. You can also click its purple line, which is this, and it will open a new Info tab, and you can view the texture on the right. This is the actual texture file. So, you can confirm it this way. Once you confirm, close the tab, the texture tab, and go back into the material info tab. Now, copy the object name. This is the object name. The text inside the quotation marks. Select it and Ctrl+C to copy it. Now, we go back into Unreal Engine. For me, this one was the Add-to-It base color. So I select my imported Add-to-It texture file name and paste the copied name on top of it. And I replaced it. Done. Just be careful. If you replace the wrong one, you will replace the wrong texture. Back in FModel. Let's do the same for the normal map. Here it is. You can tell by the name. And again, we can check. It's always a purple colored texture. So this is it, yeah. I copy the object name, and just like before, in Unreal, I paste it over my original costume normal map. I change the name, and I'm done. That's it. Now let's check the path. For these textures, they are stored in mesh_00, but inside an extra folder called texture. So in Unreal, inside mesh000, I just create a new folder and call it texture. Then I drag and drop both of my renamed textures into that folder and choose move. Done, they are set. Next, I repeat the exact same process for the body textures or any other texture I have. So I copy the body material name this time, and I find it in FModel just like before, and scroll down to the base color, find the base color, and the normal map too, copy their names, and rename them in the Unreal Engine. Then I create the texture folder, which is the same as the other one, and I move them there. Alright, I am done with that. So we are about 19% done. If I package this right now and load it in game, the model will show up with the new textures, but we'll still see some weird effects. That's because we didn't replace all the original textures. Why? Well, because I haven't had all of them to replace them. I had no replacements. For example, if you go into your materials in FModel and look at the texture slots, I replaced the base color texture, right? Yeah. And the normal map too, yes. But this one is still left. This is the original texture, so the game is still using this. It's the MRO. It stands for metallic roughness and occlusion. Let's open it. Here it is. Since I don't have a replacement, what I can do is remove its effects instead. Here is how. Right-click the texture and choose Save As. This will export the image. Click the notification link and it will open the folder path where it's saved, and this is the file. Now we are going to edit this exported texture in an image editor. You can use anything. I use Photoshop. So I open Photoshop and drag and drop this texture into it, and it's ready to edit. To normalize this texture and remove the weird effect from the model, it's very simple. Just select the brush tool and set the color to blue and paint over the whole image. That will fix the problem. When you're done, export the image. Go to File, Export As, save it as PNG or JPEG, doesn't matter. Just keep the size the same if it's possible. And there we go. This is my edited texture. Now, I put it back into Unreal Engine in the correct path, which is the same folder as the other textures. And since the name is already correct, I don't have to touch it. Just move it there and I'm done. I repeat the exact same step for the other material that also had an MRO texture. Edit it the same way, drop it in the right path, and now both are fixed. And that's it, I am officially done with textures too. So, after all that work, we still face one last problem, and that's shadow effect. This effect was put in the game as a censorship, basically so you can't look under Hinico's skirt. But the problem is it doesn't match our new model at all, and it just clips everything, so we need to remove it. Luckily, it's very simple. Here is how I did it. I already find the file. It's in the Visual Effects folder, and this is the exact one we need, the file, and this is the path. So, the first thing we do is recreate this exact file path inside Unreal Engine in Content Browser. I go into Unreal Engine just like before, I make new folders, I rename them, and I make sure I rename them correctly. Which in my case, the last folder is Niagara. Okay, I made it. Now, inside this Niagara folder, I right-click and go to FX, which stands for Effects, I believe, and select Niagara System, this one. That brings up this menu. Here, choose the empty template, this one, and then select Create. Okay, we have it now. So the only thing left is the name. Back in FModel, locate that original file, which is here. This is it in this path. Right-click the file and choose Copy Package Name without extension. That will give us the exact file name we need. Now back in Unreal, I select the new Niagara System file I just made, and I rename it by pasting the copied name and done. That's it. What we did was basically replace the original shadow effect with an empty effect, and that will completely remove the effect in game. Alright, so what is next? Well, technically nothing. We are done. But there is one more optional step we can do, and that's adding physics. Right now, physics are turned off, even the original ones, the ones the original model has. But if you want your costume model to use the same physics as the original character, here is how you set it up. First, open FModel and go to the 3D Models info tab. In the search bar, type Anim Blueprint, exactly like this, and hit enter. This will take you to this file. Now, just like before, the first thing we need is the correct folder path, the purple line. So I go back into Unreal, open the content browser, and recreate that exact path inside my project. Cool. Now, back in FModel. From the file, copy the object name. Important note, don't include _C part at the end. copy only the base name, this part. Nothing more, nothing less. Now in Unreal, back in Unreal, go into the path you just created. Right-click inside, go to Animation, select Animation Blueprint. This will bring up a menu here. Choose the skeleton file your model is using, which is this for me. Then hit Create. That gives you an animation blueprint file. Now, just rename it by pasting the exact file name we copied earlier, and done. Now let's assign the animation blueprint to our mesh file. Go to your mesh folder and open the mesh file, it's this one. Once the 3D viewer loads, look over the right side and go into Asset Details. In the search bar, type Post. This will bring up the option for Post-Process Animation Blueprint. Here, simply select the animation blueprint we just made. As soon as you do that, you'll see a confirmation message pop up. That means we're good. Finally, hit the save icon to save the mesh, then close the 3D viewer, and we are done. At this point, your model will be using the original physics setup from the original model. Just keep in mind, it might not look perfect. If your costume model has a different shape or proportions, it's not recommended. Only do this if your models match. And with that, we are ready to package the mod. So, go to your content folder, and here we right-click and go to miscellaneous. Then we choose data asset, this option. Now, a new window will pop up. Type primary, and then select this option and confirm. Simple, right? Now name the data asset we just made something like label underscore my mod. And we are done. Now we open it and change some settings. Set the priority to 1. Then set a unique trunk ID like 357. Then disable this option and set the cook rule to always cook. Then disable the other 2 options here and enable this one. Okay, this is how your settings should look. Keep in mind, for different mods, use different trunk IDs. Now we come to explicit assets and click on this plus to add the slots. We need 1 for the mesh file, 1 for the visual effect file, and 1 for every texture file we have. In my case, 6 texture file. So, after adding the slots, put the data asset to a side like this. So we have access to the content browser also. Then go to your mesh folder. Okay. Drag and drop the mesh file, which is this one, inside one of these slots, like this. Next, go to the visual effect folder and put the effect file here also. Cool. Next, go to your texture folders and put each of your textures inside these slots until you have them all in. And remember, we don't add a skeleton or materials, just a mesh and textures and the visual effect, if you made one. Okay, after we are done, click Save and close the data asset file. Now let's package. Go to Platforms at the top here and go to Windows, then select Package Project. Then you will get this window. Just click Select Folder and it will start packaging the files. Be patient, for the first time it might take some time. After it's done, you will get a notification. And now we must find the files and install them. So the files are here. Go into your Documents folder, then go to the Unreal Project folder, and inside open your project name folder. For me it was SHF. Then inside that go to Windows, then again your project name, then Content, and then Packs. Okay, inside the Packs folder you will see some files. Look at the ones with your trunk ID, the one you set in data asset. You will see 3 of them. These are the mod files we must install. Before that, we must rename them. You can name them whatever you want. Just keep it simple. And one most important part is adding _p at the end of the name. Don't forget this, or the mod won't load in game. Then make sure all 3 files share the same name. Just copy and paste. You will end up having 3 identical looking files with the same names but different formats. Now let's install them. Go into your game installation folder here and navigate to SHF, Content, Packs. Okay. Inside the Packs folder, make a new folder like this and name it ~mods. Make sure to add the tilde. After that, open it. Then put your packaged renamed files inside this folder like this. And done. We made a mod and also installed it. These are the mod files. You can archive them and upload them to share. So if you run the game and look at the model you edited, you will see the difference. It should work perfectly fine. For me it does. But if you see any problems, well, you can always go back and fix it. So yeah, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will always answer. And let me know if you need costume physics guide. And good luck.